Hi, and welcome to Counseling and Psychological Theories. I am really excited to have you as a part of this class and want to extend a personal welcome to everybody who's registered. I also want to talk a little bit about the concerns that you might have in starting this class. I'm not sure why. I'm going to guess a little bit about it, but we tend to have a pretty high dropout rate for students in this class. And I'm kind of speculating about what the reason is for that. I remember when I took this class as a master's student, it was kind of confusing to me. You know, I was pretty clear in terms of the clinical skills and how it's really important to help draw people out, to be non-judgmental, to keep your own personal values and opinions out of the process, and to really just welcome people as they are, to share their stories and to really validate those experiences. So I got that piece of it, the clinical piece. But what I didn't get, what I had a hard time connecting at that time, was how the theories really informed that clinical practice. And when you're reading about that, which you'll do a lot of in this class, there was kind of a disconnect for me, because I didn't really see how a question like, or probe like, tell me about your thought processes when you're experiencing this tension. What's going on in your head? So I didn't really get how a comment like that, as a counselor, really suggested that that was cognitive in nature as opposed to humanistic. So I didn't really understand. I'm reading about these theories and how they see people, and your view and your outlook on life, and how you believe people solve problems and get along and find peace and happiness in the world. I didn't really make that connection, and that was confusing for me. And I think that might be part of the reason why we tend to see students drop out of this class at higher rates. I think that you sort of look at the workload when you get into class, and you get a sense for the professor and, what's going to be expected of you. And, maybe you're feeling like, ugh, this class is going to be a ton of work. And not only are theories confusing to me, but look at all this work I have to do in the process. So I want to personally share with you that, first of all, I don't want any student to leave our counseling program or one of the classes that I teach feeling like it was not worthwhile, that you didn't really challenge yourselves. So I want to start by putting that out there and saying, you can do this. Yes, we have a lot of reading in this class, like any class, honestly. I don't think that the reading is any more intensive than other classes. I really don't. But I realize that it might feel more complex because you're relating it to this confusion about what theory means. So, the second thing that I want to say is that this class is so cool because it's set up to get you to read about the theories in 1 week, and then you develop a sort of chart where you compare the different theories and how a clinician would see people in terms of coming from a psychodynamic perspective, or a cognitive perspective, or a humanistic perspective. So you do that, you get to read about it, then you make a chart and compare them, and I'll give you feedback through that process. And then the following week, you actually get to watch a video of somebody who specializes in one approach, and you get to watch them demonstrating that approach. And then you watch it, and based on the reading that you did, you sort of critique the video and say, oh, well, I really, I heard him say, tell me more about your thought process. And then I know that that's a part of cognitive behavioral therapy, right? So it's set up to help you through the process. It may feel overwhelming at the start, but I assure you that this will come together and it will make sense. And if you stick with it and reach out to me if something is confusing. I love it when students ask questions because it tells me you care and you're paying attention and you want to be stellar. And that's what I want for you all. I want you to leave feeling like, okay, I got this. I have this strong foundation and I'm ready to move forward. So please reach out to me. I promise I will not bite your head off. I have bad days too, but I promise you that I will not take that out on you. And I will do my very best to guide you through this process and make it a meaningful experience for you. So, don't quit. Let me know if this is confusing, if it feels like I'm going to be too hard on you, or any of the information doesn't make sense. I'm not an expert in all theories, but I have a pretty solid foundation to work from. And I'm fairly eclectic as a clinician, so I'm real comfortable talking about a lot of different approaches. So let's make this a good experience, and let me know if you have questions or you need help. That's what I'm here for. Thank you, and welcome to class.